Okay, so it's recording right now. Your name, I think your name won't be in the.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll give you my
thank
card.
you. Oh, that's great.
That's easy.
Okay, then. I will just skip all the what is the program doing, and I will ask you about the content of and how information is being shared with farmers. So how specifically mass media content is being produced in the program?
When there is something that you want to communicate to farmers, first of all, here you have it's called Agriculture Information and the Communication Program of the Ministry, and one of the functions of this program is to act as a communication arm of the ministry. So what we do, we work hand in hand with people from RAB, Rwanda Agriculture Board, and the National Agricultural Export Development Board, which is focusing on the promotion of export commodities.
Okay.
That what we call NAEB, National Agricultural Export Development Program. So when something that has to do with, let's say, as you mentioned about, let's say about banana, then here we are not expert in everything, because our specialization is in communication. Like myself, I have background in journalism and communication. So what we do, we have to go and work hand in hand with experts from banana program in Iraq to make sure that we have all content, because we don't create content here, but we correct content and shape it and make it to, in a communication wise, something that can be understood by even smallholder farmers, even people who have never been to school. So what we do is to collect and process and shape the information to make sure that we give something that can help farmers to improve what they are doing.
Okay.
It's about disease control. We have to make sure that that information has all the content, all the elements that can help farmers to control any kind of disease.
Okay.
So, after working with the expert from RAB or from NAEB, we have to decide which kind of channel that we have to use depending on our target. So, coming back to the case of banana, you know, when the best channel of communication that most of the time we use here is radio. So we use radio simply because a radio is a word owned by many Rwandans, especially the farmers. Our farmers, most of them have never been to school, and it's easier to get to own a radio rather than accessing a newspaper or affording a TV set. So that's why radio, and most of the time community radios, are the best channels when you want to communicate with farmers. So when we have the content, then we can produce something like a press release that can share with journalists, or we go straight to radio because we have some contract with some radios. And then we take some of our experts, and after having the right content on paper, and then they go the studio for, depending on the location. If you want to communicate with people, specifically people from East, then there is a community radio based in East.
Okay.
We go there, we everything that we want to communicate with them, and most of the time it's a live radio talk show.
It's a live. Okay.
Yes, so that even farmers can have time to interact with those experts who are in the studio.
Okay.
They go, so journalists ask some questions, and the experts have to respond, and then somewhere in the middle of the radio talk show, then they open the floor to the audience, and then farmers can ask some questions to make sure, so that they can ask everything. And actually, it's considered as another way to get feedback from farmers, and that's how we communicate with farmers using mass media. And that one, apart from radio, we also use, of course, online media, newspapers, because with the penetration of internet, well, some people can access online information, and when it's online, that means even people who can access internet can even check that information whenever they want. Because when you use radio, you go and talk, but after the radio talk show has ended, then that's all. But when there is something that is online, anyone can go and track that information at any time. But of course, when you are using online communication, you are not targeting all farmers, because it's not everyone who can access the internet or who is able to go and find the information online. Because like old people who have never been to school, I think it's not easier for them to go and find information online. But at least there are some people who can go online, like, there are some farmers who have been to school, but also there are some agronomists or veterinaries who are in rural areas, but sometimes they can get some extension or any kind of information that they can find online. And apart from that, at this time, the ministry is encouraging young people to go and find jobs in farming. And that means those young people can go and find any kind of information online, because it's easier for them, because they have been to school and they know how to go and find the right content online. So we're targeting those kind of people when we are using online media. Apart from online, we also use there's some information that we disseminate using social media. As I just mentioned, how some people have been to school, but also those young people who are being encouraged to go into farming. So it's easier for them, and when talk about social media, most of the people who are interested in this kind of social media are young people. So when we are using those social media, we are targeting those kind of people, like young people, or even people who have been to school but who can use social media.
Which type of social media do you use?
Well, we use like Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, because we have some teaching videos that we upload on YouTube.
Good.
And sometimes we also use Instagram.
Okay.
And even Flickr for photos.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Basically, those are the channels that we use. And when you talk about social media, you're now targeting a good number of our main audience. But we keep in mind that when you look at the part how things have been evolving over the last few years, you can predict that in the coming years, all people will be using social media, because it's something that when you go back in the past, let's say like in the past 10 or 15 years, no one was using social media in this country.
Yeah.
But this time, the number of people who are on social media or even online, it's increasing at a very high speed. Which means if we can start even using those channels to target those people who are already using those channels, that means like in the future, it will be easier for us to even use those social media, because many people are joining those channels.
Nice.
So, but the main so far the main channel of communication that we're using targeting farmers radio.
Alrighty.
Because even people who have never been to school, someone even who can't read and someone who can't write can own a radio. When you look at the penetration of mobile phones in this country, I think more than 75% of people have mobile phones, and all those mobile phones have a radio inside.
True.
Apart from that, it's even easier for anyone to own a radio set. And in our culture, it's easier for everyone to listen to radio than going and read a newspaper. So that's why we are most of the case using radio. Yeah.
Okay. And do you use any other, like, do you produce flyers, posters, or stuff like that?
Yes, we do. We, as I told you, have in this program have people who are in charge of extension material production. And one of the things that they're doing is to package information and produce those kind of communication materials, something like flyers, pull-ups, booklets. We also have audiovisual person, which means we also use some teaching videos. So all those kind of communication products, we are producing them and to distribute to farmers, targeting using the extension channel that we have. Like, I don't know if we've been working with ITA, I guess we've been to RAB and they told you something about the current extension model, which is called 2 year Muhinzi.
Yeah.
So through that channel, there's some extension farmer promoters who are at the village level, but also have some people, some extension person who are at the same time farmers, but who have been trained by the ministry and RAB, and they're called farmer
facilitators.
Yes, farmer field school facilitators. So when you have those kind of material like flyers, booklets, and even CDs for videos, we go and distribute those material to those farmers using that channel, so they can even use them to share the information to their neighbors.
Okay.
Yes.
So it goes directly to the farmer promoters and the farmer field school facilitators, or it goes through the district and then down? Like, to whom do you handle those materials?
Well, there are some cooperative that group those farmer promoters and the facilitators, and they have cooperative. So when we have materials like a booklet and those CDs, we distribute them through their cooperatives.
Okay.
And then And we also have, we recently launched a project of using small digital projectors.
Okay.
That have, but it's until at this time it's still a pilot project, and whereby we distributed some small projectors that can be used by farmers, and they're managed by those farm promoters and the facilitators.
Okay.
And so it means when they have some videos, they can project those videos using those projectors.
Nice.
And when they have, they can even have some soft copies of those extension material that can even project using those projectors.
Nice.
But there is a colleague of mine who is much involved in that project, and I think he can be in better position to tell you what they have been doing.
Perfect.
Yeah. So personally, what I do in everyday activities, dealing with mass media, dealing with journalists, and what I'm really much involved in social media, and
And now that you said that you have these tensions between people you're in mass media and other people are in extension, do you choose different content depending on the media you're using? I mean, do you provide any different information or to a different scope when you're using mass media than what your colleagues are using in flyers or something?
Yeah, I think we have we have to look at the target audience first before, and then we think how can package our content. For instance, if we are targeting farmers, those are all the farmers. The content that we provide to those farmers will not be the same when you're targeting, let's say, young people who are getting into farming, because they don't have the same background, they don't have the same knowledge, they don't have the same level of understanding.
Okay.
Which means it will not even be the same when you're targeting even agronomists or veterinaries, because they are not at the same level of understanding things. Which means even the content will not be the same.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why when we are packaging the content, let's say targeting district agronomist or sector agronomist or some people in between who are in implementation, it's not the same content that we use when we are targeting farmers, because they don't have the same level of understanding, and their needs are not the same.
Can you explain me more? Can you elaborate on that? In what sense is different, for example?
Well, I'll give you an example. For instance, here we have a book which is called Karinganire, which can be translated like let's practice modern farming. And that book is mostly targeting like agronomists, field staff, people who have been to school, but it's not targeting those farmers on the ground, those smallholder farmers. So when it comes to the content, you can find something which is somehow technical, because it can be understood by technical people like agronomists. But when it comes to producing, let's say, like a booklet on banana farming, targeting those smallholder farmers, the content will be a bit different.
Okay.
Because farmers, you need to know first what they know, how they do it, the region, so that they can, because you have to use even the language that they have been using in that area. So that can be understood by everyone.
Okay.
So that's why I was telling you that the content is somehow different, depending on the paper that you are targeting.
Perfect. Good. Do you, well, now that we're talking about content, can you think about now what have you sent in regard to BXW or to banana and pest and disease in general? Can you think about something or?
I'm not sure if I can remember everything, but I know that we've been doing something about that, being radio talk shows, because I know there have been every time, like every year, because there are campaigns everywhere. Because there are cases in different parts of the country and different time of the year, which means when there is a campaign to fight against those I don't have
Pest and disease or
yes.
BXW?
Yes, that it's a
BXW?
Yeah, BXW.
Yeah, then yeah.
That's well, that's a very technical term, and sometimes I'm not a technical person.
Sure, no, it's fine. It's just
yes. So, but we've been doing a lot of radio talk shows about that, and something that comes every year because well, it's something that happens each year, every year in different parts of the country, which means they are like continuous radio talk shows about that, how people can deal with it and the best practice to fight against it, and when, let's say, when there is such cases in that area, what farmers need to do, how they have to eradicate, and have all steps that they have to go through to make sure that they eradicate, but also they avoid the spread of BXW.
okay.
So we've been having a lot of radio talk shows and being a live radio talk show, even pre-recorded radio talk shows. And if you need, you can even get some samples of those kind of radio talk shows.
That would be great.
Yes. So apart from that, we also have video teaching videos on that, because we have when you produce a video, a teaching video, we do it from the beginning. Let's say if it's about banana farming, it has to have all the information on all stages of banana farming, from planting or from even from selecting the best suckers, and from planting, how to do it, and until disease and pest control, which means it has to have that component of fight against BXW.
Okay.
And I'm sure you can get a copy of that CD.
No, that will be really good, and I will really appreciate that.
Yeah. So apart from that, we also have some booklet on that, having always the same information. Because the same information is on booklets, on video, but also on radio.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. What else? Do you receive, because apart from that, the capacity of farmers to contact the experts through the radio?
So?
apart from radio where farmers can call, do you receive any kind of feedback or do you receive any information from farmers?
Yeah, sure. You
What
see,
type?
you can look at these people. This is our call center.
Okay.
So here I have a call center, and every time when farmers have something like something that they have to report or something they have to ask the ministry, so here I have a call center.
Okay. Perfect.
Yes.
And farmers can just call directly or they have to go through the farmer promoter or
No,
something?
they have to call directly because all farmers know the telephone number, and that number is always promoted on radio, talk shows, and all farmers know that number that have to call. When there is something that they have to ask, being a disease, being something that being asking information how they can improve what they are doing, being how asking for extension materials on particular crops or whatever they want, so they have to call that number.
Okay.
And those people from the call center, they have to provide them with all the information that they need. But also sometimes they can also connect them with expert. It's something that need a response from expert.
Okay. Because they're not experts.
No, they're not. Well, you can't be expert in everything.
True, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because agriculture and it's a very broad area.
Yeah.
So which means even if I'll pick up a bit later.
Thank you.
Even if when you are a trained agronomist, you are not an expert in everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. And through social media, do you receive some feedback or people contact you through Facebook or through...
Yes, we do get some feedback and people can ask questions and even provide them with the responses. Maybe I can, I can give you some samples.
Sure.
So, are you on Twitter?
Yes, really old. I don't know if I remember my account even.
You see? For instance, like these days you have there is a disease but in livestock, which is called Rift Valley fever.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't know if you are aware of that disease that is attacking.
I've heard that it's just started in the east. Well, not started, but it's an outburst right now.
Yes, in east.
Okay.
Especially in Kirehe, Ngoma, Kayonza, and Rwambugan district. Yes. So when there was those kind of emergency issues or diseases, people are always keen to ask you using our channels. And for instance, this is one of the people who was asking using Twitter. So, well, this is thinking around. I'm not sure.
No, I don't know.
But here he was asking because when this disease broke out, then we made an announcement telling people how they have what they have to do, how they have to behave in a bit to fight against it or to contain the spread of this disease. And this one was asking if an animal or which has been treated can be eaten after some few days, and that's what he was asking. And well, this is the minister who provided the answer. So everyone is very being the people from communication, but also other staff.
Oh,
Especially the
perfect.
ministry is very active on social media.
Nice.
So here he was providing the instant response. He was
That's
saying that this car. Boss. Karibu. Salam,
Hi,
salam.
Lara.
I'm Kaitel.
Nice to meet you.
So he's our colleague and he's also from communication department.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
And how are you doing?
Fine, I'm asking Karinganire about the communication exchange and information exchange in Rwanda.
Oh.
Yeah, she's working with ITA, but she's working on
ITA.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
She's working on her master's research.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I was asking some questions about how we deliver information targeting farmers, especially on
And BXW and banana.
BXCW.
Oh. Kirabiranya.
Yeah.
You know the.
So we
the
call
name.
it Kinyarabenya.
Yeah, I heard something, but I just forgot completely about the name.
Alright. So I was just passing by and have a nice day. Where's Goreti?
I don't know.
Alright. I need to talk to her about the agri show.
I'm sure.
I want to book some space.
Oh.
Good.
So, other thing that I can. Hello? Yes, Beno. Sasa. Kawakawa Kenj. Ndi Kigali ndi muri ya nyubako imwe ishyuha cyane. Mbere. Byo birumvikana. Nabyo nicyo gihe. Sawa mugani se mwaka ushize byo birumvikana amezi 6. Nabyo igihe kiranyaruka rwose. Okay. So we're talking about social media.
Yep.
Well, I forgot to mention that we also have a weekly. Well, this time we've spent some time without having that session, but it's a weekly session, Twitter session, whereby the minister has to sit down and respond to all questions that are asked on Twitter. And it's a session that we promote every week on Monday from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m.
Okay.
And when we have that session, we have to promote it on our social media platforms to make sure that people are aware that the minister will be available for that session.
Nice.
And then people can ask any question that they want, being on disease, being on everything, on access to inputs and everything. And the minister has to respond to all those questions.
Nice. On Twitter.
Yes, on Twitter.
Okay.
Maybe. And we promote it under hashtag #AskMinagri.
Nice.
Yes.
Can I have the name of the Twitter and Facebook and How are you called right now? Because if it's not CICA, what's the name of this project? Just the program.
The program. It's called the Agriculture Information
And communication program.
and Communication Program.
No short version, just like that.
No.
Okay.
No, it's called. It's an acronym. It's ICIP. It's written like this.
Okay. Yeah, just right. It's fine.
And the communication.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.
The Twitter accounts are...
No, we don't run any Twitter account or Facebook account under this program because
Okay.
this is a program of the ministry. So we are the one who run all Twitter or Facebook or
Okay.
social media account of the ministry.
Of the whole ministry. Oh, well, I mean, yeah, ministry, not
the ministry.
not the government. Yeah,
Yes,
sir.
because we can't run anything about under this program because while we are part of the ministry, so we are the one who are in charge of managing all those.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so...
And the Twitter account, I don't know if you know the Twitter handle of the ministry.
no.
It's at Rwanda Agri.
Rwanda... Agree? Okay.
Yes. Rwanda Agri. This is the capital. The second one.
Rwanda
Yes.
Agree. Okay.
And then when you go to Facebook, we use it's the Ministry of Agriculture and Animal Resources.
Okay, just...
Minagri.
Okay. Just one. Perfect. And all those accounts are run by here, through here.
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. I think I don't have... I mean, I have questions about the structure of the program, but if you tell me that you're not the person to ask those questions unless you're willing to answer them, like about the structure and a bit, will you be willing to answer those questions?
Yeah.
Yeah, more or less. Okay, well, I kind of...
But I suggest to even find some time and go talk to the person who is in charge.
Okay.
And I guess it's better that she knows that there's someone who is doing something about what we are doing. And I think it's better.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's how we promote the other Twitter session.
Okay, that's Minagri.
Ask Minagri.
Nice. And do you think like...
And this is the minister.
Oh, that's minister.
Yes.
Oh, nice. That's interesting. That's really easygoing looking.
Yeah.
Good. But do you think that just... Because I guess that just educated and young farmers will have access to Twitter. So do you think that not all the population is contributing to that as Minagri thing?
The whole population.
Not the whole population, but I mean if young farmers or educated farmers are the one who has access or know how to use internet and social media, then I guess they are the main people that contact through Twitter, right?
Well, not only young people and educated people, but also the general audience, the general public.
They also use Twitter to...
Yes. The people who are not farmers who are educated but who are interested in farming. And they sometimes ask some questions related to farming. Because at the end, all of us, whatever profession or occupation might be involved in, but at the end, all of us have to go on table and eat. That's why you can find all people interested asking those kind of questions.
Sure.
Even if they are not involved in farming, but maybe their fathers and their parents and their relatives are farmers. Well, they might be doing farming activities but not as maybe like a secondary occupation. Let's say you can find someone who is like a civil engineer, but has some land and he keeps some cows, and so his main profession is not farming, but he's also practicing farming.
Okay.
You know, farming in our society, it's something that I can consider like a traditional occupation for most of the people.
Okay. Well, I think I have no more questions. Would it be possible to have those, like a sample, that those videos or that material that you told me that you were doing in regard to banana? Would it be possible to have a copy or to take a look to them?
Yes, but yeah, so I can try.
Yeah.
I can try, but there's some document that are in the store. So maybe if you're not in a hurry, I can take my time and find those materials.
Sure.
And I guess if you are based in ITA offices, and then it's very close.
Yeah, no, yeah.
It's a walk distance, and in time, maybe like in the afternoon, I can.
I can pass by.
Yes.
Here. Yeah, that would be great if I could do that, like pass this afternoon. I don't know, like around.
Yeah, I will let you once I get everything.
Okay, perfect. And do you think, well, talking about extension, I've seen you have kind of a library at the entrance.
Yes, you do.
Open to the public, or?
It's for the public. It's not for the ministry staff, no.
Okay, so I can just pass by.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, perfect. That's great.
Yes.
And last thing I'm going to ask you, do you think your extension colleague will be available now to have a quick talk, or like this person in charge of, because you said you're in mass media and you have another 2 colleagues working on extension material, do you think they will have a moment?
I also have another colleague who is specifically, actually she's the ministry's public relations and communication officer.
Oh, interesting.
And she's the one who manages those radio talk shows on a daily basis. I'm not sure if she's around, but I'll introduce you to her. And but also I can introduce you to other colleagues. And if they have some time, then can talk. And
that will be
if they're busy somehow, then you can arrange when and how can meet and how can talk.
Perfect. That will be great.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Do you
So
have
are you done with the questions?
Yeah. Do you have any question for me? Maybe.
How long have you been to Rwanda?
I think already a month or so. Maybe 3-4 weeks already. Yeah.
So how much time are you going to spend here?
Another nearly 2 months, 1 month and a half. From next week something, I will go to Kayonza and start interviewing farmers. But I first want to make some interviews here in Kigali.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. So from which country?
From Spain.
From Spain?
Yeah. I'm studying in the Netherlands, but I'm originally from Spain.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And yeah, someone told me that even in Spain, they grow even banana. Right?
Yeah, in the island. We have some island next to Morocco, and there we grow bananas, but it's in Spain, not that much. But we are kind of proud of our own bananas
Oh.
from the islands.
Mm.
But we have also kind of like North African climate there, so it's just
When I
nice.
saw your names, to seem to me that you're from Italy because
From Italy.
yes, because it looks like Italian names.
Yeah, like Murillo, yeah.
Yes.
The double L, yeah.
Mm.
That's fun.
Oh, okay. So once you're done with your interviews here, then you go back to Netherlands.
To the Netherlands, yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, more or less, at least to Europe, to finish, to write, and that's the thing I would like to mention. If you want to have a copy of the end product of my research, you just have to tell me, and I'll facilitate you one. I don't think it's going to be that interesting, but if you want to.
So when do you expect to finish your research?
Oh, maybe October, November.
October, November. By the end of this year?
Yeah, I hope so.
It's very soon.
Yeah.
So you are doing your master's in communication?
I did in Spain. I studied this type of communication, media, TV, radio. And in the Netherlands, I'm doing it for agriculture and environment. So I'm using all the communication for the environment and for not bananas, for agriculture, and also a bit of sustainable development.
Because I know that university has something that sounds like communication for innovation, right?
Yeah, I'm on that department. CICA, communication, knowledge, and innovation.
I think it's interesting, really.
It's really, really nice one, indeed.
Yeah, I know because they used to send some books from that university.
Oh, really? From whom?
Yeah, because no, it's not that university, but I think that university has a kind of partnership with an organization which is called the CTA. Do you know CTA?
CIAT?
CTA.
CTA. I don't know, but I know they have agreements with CIAT and CGR and IITA, but it's really into agriculture, the university. So it's everywhere with agriculture and
yes. So what did you choose to conduct your research here in Rwanda?
Oh no, it was they have this project. It's called Evoca. Evoca. It's just a project that the university has. That it's for African PhDs. So it has 11 projects all around Africa on the implementation of ICTs and mobile platforms to help support different projects. And they had, I think, cacao in Ghana, water and weather forecast in Kenya, and different ones, and bananas in Rwanda was one of those. And I'm really interested in the exchange of information, and that was the aim of this project, so I just chose to come. But I have to say that I had no idea of Rwanda before coming.
So it was your first time to come here in Rwanda?
Yeah. I'm a bit upset because I'm really busy with this, so I don't really have time to enjoy Rwanda.
Yeah, maybe you come back after you are done with
yeah,
research.
I know. I was really I should have booked more time instead of coming back that early.
Not really.
I just spent, I don't know, a couple of weeks just enjoying Rwanda.
Maybe if you can even extend your stay.
Maybe. I have to think about visas.
Of course, depending on your schedule.
Yeah, I know. I'm a bit tired.
I think it's not a big issue with visa.
No.
I think it can all depending on your schedule if you have to go back to your
a bit. Wow. But I'm enjoying myself.
Okay.
It's nice.
Okay. So, but do you have an idea of someone who is using the Twitter handle of ITA Rwanda.
What do you mean?
I'm asking if you know someone who is managing the Twitter account of ITA Rwanda.
I think it's the country representative, because IATA is not, it's not that small, but it's not that big to have a whole communication department. So I think it's Mark Schutt.
Okay, because you know, like 1 month ago, 2 months ago, when I started seeing the Twitter account, Twitter account in Rwanda.
Okay.
And it was not there before.
Oh yeah, it's been like it's growing quite nicely IATA, so maybe they didn't have a.
And I can see that even that guy is very active on Twitter.
Yeah, we are quite a lot. Sometimes it's just nice.
Okay. Yeah. Good. Thank you.
No, thank you. Sure. If would you tell me what if I should come this afternoon to pick up the?
No, I'm going to check, and when I get all those copies, then I will let you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, I think I have your email and
sure. Yeah, you
even
do.
your mobile phone.
Maybe not, but let me give it to you.
No, I think the other one that you use on WhatsApp. Because the previous email told them that.
Yeah, I think I add them. I have WhatsApp and I have Rwandan phone, but I think it's on the email, on the very first email I sent you. Okay. But if not, I can just email you with them again, and that will be
okay.
Good. Yeah. Can I maybe talk to one of your colleagues, or can you introduce me? Sure. Oh, that's my bag. Okay.
The first one is not around.
Okay.
The second one is not around, maybe.
Oh, it's fine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you do.
He's called Patrick, so this is
Hi, Patrick.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
so she's called Molina.
The name?
Murillo. Lara Murillo. Yeah. Murillo.
Morillo.
Maria.
Morillo.
It's fine.
Okay.
Yes. So she's working with ITA.
ITA.
But she's working on her master's research. And she was having some interviews on communication with relevant information to farmers. And she wanted to, maybe first, if we have some time, can ask you some question, or if you're busy, then can talk.
About communication.
Yes, how we convey our information to farmers. But our research is focusing much on
Bananas
on
and
banana.
Banana and beans.
No.
Banana.
Banana and BXW.
Okay. BXW, okay.
Yeah.
The disease. Okay. So, can we go in the studio or? Yeah, let's.
If you have time.
Yeah, like 10 minutes, it's okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you.
So we are having an issue with our meeting room.
Oh, well.
So the office upside is being renewed, so that's why we are using.
Oh,
it.
no,
Okay,
it's
yeah.
fine.
A minute.
Sure.
Clever. Waramutse. Wampaye uyu munsi ngo nguhamagare dukonfirime niba ya match tuyikina. Niba twayipanga tukayikina. Twakibona nyamara muri iyi minsi nta match menshi ahari. Twakina nyuma yayo cyangwa mbere yayo. Gusa yo ntiyatworoheraho gato tugakina. Nyuma y'isonga baba bari ku ishuri. Saa 11 n'igice. Nziranye na Aimable team manager. Saa 10 n'igice. Kuwa gatatu. Okay, sawa. Imyaka ni ya indi yakinnye n'isonga. 17. Sawa. Reka mvugishe Aimable. Sawa asante. Merci. Yes.
You were Patrick?
Yes, Patrick.
Fine.
I don't know if Didi explained you much about our program, how we work.
No, he couldn't. I'm actually asking if
So
someone could.
Okay, so our program does 2 things. One, it's about communication, the usual communication, the PR, public relation and media, all this. Then the other part is about extension, agriculture extension. So it's about conveying the message, but in agriculture way. Extension.
Yeah.
So my part is about extension. DDA is about media and PR.
Good.
That's what we do.
Perfect.
Yes.
So you're the one in charge of the extension material.
Yes.
Okay, because he mentioned some positions, but people were not.
Yes.
allowed.
We are 2. There is a lady called Petra.
Okay.
She does extension material. She develops the booklets, whatever, for farmers.
Okay.
And then my role is to distribute and collect feedback from farmers.
Nice.
So, yeah, that's what we do.
Good. So
Yes.
can you tell me about how that distribution works?
Yeah, we have a channel. Normally that channel is what we use to distribute extension materials.
Okay.
That channel is like we have our program. Then we have 4 regions.
Yeah.
Actually, they are called RAB zones. RAB is Rwanda Agriculture Board zones. There are 4: North, West, East, and South. Then in each zone we have the director of extension, and in that zone there are districts. And in each district there is an extension officer. So we go through that channel. We go through the RAB zone, RAB zone, where there is a director of extension. Then he links up with the district extension officers, and then the district extension officer works hand in hand with the sector agronomist. So that channel is how we distribute extension materials. So we ask the director of agricultures, and then they will coordinate with the district extension officers, who in return works with the sector agronomist to distribute to different, to various areas in the region.
So it goes all in line. There's no direct distribution.
I can't skip any.
Okay.
Yes.
And then from sector, they also go
From sector
to the cell?
to the cell. Yes, they go to the cell.
And
then, but before developing an extension material, we first, we do how do we call it? It's a need. It's like we ask farmers, what do you need? And then they will say, yeah, in our region we grow maize, and then, but we don't have, much information. So we need to have, materials.
Okay.
So from there, we come back and develop the material. We go back before, developing the final copy. We ask them, do you think this information, answers your issues or problems? Then they will say, yes, but you can collect this and this and this and this. This is lacking,
Okay.
Then at the end of the day, we develop the final copy. Okay. And then we distribute through that channel.
Okay.
Yes.
And how does that feedback go? So, because I can get that the farmer doesn't come here and tell you what's lacking. So how does it go?
So we have a call center. Do you see?
Okay.
So these are attending, farmers, queries and, questions. Okay. So we have the call center. They will also, at the end of the booklet, there is a question, there is a small paper where they can, a small sheet where they can remove it and put their questions, and then they can, give it to the person who gave the booklet. And then that person will also send it to the person who gave him the booklet until it reaches here.
Okay, so
Yes.
the
same way, yeah.
the same way.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's mainly or calling or reading?
Yes, calling and writing.
Okay.
Yes.
And what about, because he mentioned that you have Twitter accounts or
Yes,
Facebook,
we have
also like that.
Twitter account, we have Facebook. We also get some questions through those social media.
Okay.
The Facebook and Twitter. We have Instagram. We have YouTube where we put our videos. Yes. And recently we introduced a video option whereby farmers, you've heard of farmer promoters and FFS facilitators.
Yes.
So in some districts we've given them some videos, training videos.
Okay.
So they train farmers using videos. Then after the training, farmers can ask some questions, and then FP and FFS can bring back those questions.
Okay.
Yes.
Nice.
But it's we are in pilot phase.
Okay.
It's not in all districts.
Just the video part, you mean? Okay.
The video part is in. By the way, we have the banana one. We have a banana video.
Great. Yeah, I think Karinganire will try to.
Yes, we have a banana video. We have a banana booklet. We've developed a banana booklet on BXW.
Oh,
yes.
wow, that would be
So
great to have.
the banana part is covered.
Okay.
Is mainly covered. Yes. Because it's an important crop in the east.
In the east.
The east, yes.
Good. And well, I don't want to take a lot of your time, but so one question, because I've heard that the content that you produce is that you don't really produce content, that you get the content from the specialists, from
researchers and specialists,
and then you just produce it like physically
yes.
to exchange it.
Yes.
Then how do you?
Our role is to package the content from researchers and specialists.
Okay.
Yes.
And then how do you integrate that feedback? So, guys, you receive that feedback, and do you like introduce it on the future booklets, or it has to be approved?
Yes. Actually, what we do every year we update the content.
Okay.
And when we are updating, we consider the questions and the feedback from farmers. I advised us to maybe to grow banana on, the spacing. He might say, in our region, the spacing vary, because of the mountain, because of whatever. And then that advice from farmer, we give it back to the researchers and say, but in the east, they said the spacing is what you advised, but in the north, they say it's not because it's mountainous. What is your comment about this? Then the researchers will comment and say maybe yes or no.
Okay.
So we update the booklet and then print another version. So every single year we have a new version. Every year.
And then whatever, you get the information from the specialists and you develop something and they still have to check, or you can, the content that you produce has to be checked by someone before being distributed?
Yes.
By whom?
Every concerned person.
Okay.
Even farmers. As I told you, before printing the final copy, we go back to the farmers and ask.
Okay.
They will comment on illustrations used, they will comment on pictures, they will comment on the content before. And then we get those comments, integrate them on the content, and then revise it. And then we go back to even researchers and say, this is what we have now. What is your say? Then they will say, yes, it's now okay for printing. And then we print and give back to the farmers.
Good.
Yes.
Perfect.
But we don't print in English.
I know. I've been
because the target audience are around this. Yeah.
I know. No, I've already struggled a bit, looking through things okay, this is gonna be hard, but fine.
Yes.
As at the beginning, because I could not ask that to Karinganire, and you were kind of really clear with the structure of the program. Do you have time? A bit of time? Sure.
Yes.
And do you feel confident on answering me question about the structure of the program? Yeah?
It's okay.
Okay, fine, because he wasn't, so maybe you wouldn't. Okay, because this was first called CICA, so I would like to know if it has changed or something, but what would you say are the tasks and responsibilities of the program?
Yeah, it's before it was CICA, as you said, but now it's AICP.
Okay.
It's A stands for agriculture.
Yeah.
Can I write here?
Sure.
AICP, Agriculture, Information and Communication Program.
Okay, good. I just
so
made this
before it was a center, CICA, it was a center.
Okay.
But now it's a program.
Okay.
So our main role is to collect, gather, package, disseminate agriculture information.
Nice.
That's the key. Then, but nowadays they've added the PR part, the public relations and media, management for the whole ministry. So if we say the ministry, it's the Minagri, RIB, and NAEB.
Yeah.
So it's the ministry and its agents.
Yeah.
Yes. Those are two key important roles of the program.
Okay.
Yes.
Good. And how does you're under, this is more or less answered.
We are under the ministry.
The ministry.
Yes.
And you just respond to the ministry, and RAB isn't on top of you, or it's just helping?
RAB is an agency of the ministry. So it's the ministry. Then below there is RAB and NAEB.
Okay. Perfect. Good.
But the ministry is a a policy, the policy part. Then RAB and NAEB are implementing agents.
Okay.
Yes.
But you respond to the ministry. Okay. And does someone respond to you, or you don't have any other project under your supervision. Okay, perfect. And with apart from ministry bodies, do you collaborate with someone else, like any NGO, any institute or something?
Yes.
With which ones, or with whom do you collaborate?
All the NGOs under the ministry.
Okay.
Yes. And by the way, we are now introducing, there is a sector working group.
Mm-hmm.
So under the sector working group, all NGOs fall, actually are members of the sector working group.
Okay.
So if you work in the agriculture sector, you fall under the sector working group.
Okay.
But the sector working group differs. It depends on which part of intervention you're giving.
Mm-hmm.
If it is nutrition, you fall under nutrition sector working group.
Okay.
If it is extension, you fall under extension sector working group. So it depends. So in our context, we manage those that fall under extension and communication.
Okay.
Each NGO has the communication department. So they will all report to our program manager.
Okay.
Yes.
Huh.
In one way or the other, it depends, but it's mainly the communication part.
Okay.
Yes.
So all the content independently, whether if it's a NGO or government, a structure like Tuhiri Muhinsi, the content is going to be the same?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Good. Because, you said it was the sector...
Subsector working group. Subsector working group.
And what are those exactly? Because this is the first time
There are many. There is nutrition subsector working group. There is an extension subsector working group. It depends.
But what are they? Because it's the first time I hear about them. So what are they? The subsector working group.
It's like a group that brings. It's very hard to man. Agriculture has so many NGOs, so many partners.
Yeah.
Development partners, local partners, ministry, whatever. So it's very hard to manage them. So they better brought that collaboration part so that it could be easily to manage them.
Okay.
So if you are partnering with the ministry, you need to fall under one subsector working group so that the ministry can easily manage what you're doing.
Okay.
So if for example you are working on nutrition part, you have to be a member of the nutrition subsector working group so that the ministry will coordinate all your activities.
Okay. If not, you're not allowed to operate, or
then you're not considered
okay.
as a member as a partner, or
okay.
Yeah, then you're not considered.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I mean, makes sense. It's better to have
that coordination. Coordination. Yes.
Not to mess with, for example, farmers. Like someone says something, the other person says something else. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, this was super quick, but.
So did you meet Suveta?
Yeah. I'm working kind of like closely. Well, the project is.
She's the boss of the banana.
Yeah.
Program.
It was really.
Was she collaborative?
Yeah. She's working with IITA in this project, so I'm just a little part of this project because I'm just a master's student. But she's actively collaborating, and I had the opportunity to interview her quite briefly because she's a busy woman. So
very busy.
I had like half of an interview, and then like 2 weeks after another half of interview. But yeah, no, I've already talked a bit with her. She
has all needed and necessary information about banana program. She's the boss.
Yeah, I've heard that. So it's with her with whom you receive the information. Well, not from her, but
yes, when we are developing banana, content, she's the one. But of course, she has some other guys working under.
But that's kind of like the experts. You said you check the information. Okay, and that I guess it happens with different crops. Okay.
There's a banana bean program. There's so many programs.
Okay.
Yes.
And you work with all of them, like the department. Okay. Perfect. I think I have no more questions because this was really quick.
Okay.
Quick intervention. Well, I already asked Karinganire if I could have any sample of the material, like the videos and
About
booklets
banana?
about bananas and BXW. He said he will try to gather them today, so I have no favorites.
So I will try. Let me see if I can. Yes, the banana. Yes. The video. Yes.
Yeah, any.
If I don't
booklet
get
or
the hard
something.
copy, I could even share the soft copy.
Okay.
Yes. So you're here for how long?
I've been nearly a month already, and I'm gonna be another 1.5, 2, maybe.
Then you go back.
Yeah, then it's just really express visit, but just trying to interview everyone, going to
Yeah,
the field in a couple weeks. Oh, one thing, do you think I could interview one of the girls in the question? No?
No,
They're busy women?
not even being busy. You would require to request the permission from the
Okay.
head of department,
Okay, then perfect. Then
which I don't think would be easy.
no, then it's perfect. I don't
Yeah, we
want to
could
put
keep it for
someone.
next time.
Sure. Thanks a lot for making some little time.
Let me get the I'm getting the 2012 version of the
Okay.
booklet. Here it is. Then this is 2015, 16 video. Then let me see if I get an additional.
Because closer in time, you don't have any, right? Like from closer in time, like 2016 or 17.
Yes,
you
we
don't
have one, but it is in store and
Okay. It's fine. I can.
can be very hard to get it. So
Okay.
that's what I have now. That's what I have.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
We can see next time if we can get the latest version.
Perfect. Yeah.
Like my heart. No, I will check from the store. Okay.
So you've now got
Got
This is the video, this is the booklet, but she needs the latest version of this.
okay.
But I don't have a copy now.
Okay. Should I just wait for when you have it, or should I email you with a follow-up or something?
Let's see if I can get it next. You're here next week.
Yeah. And if not, I can make someone come from IIT here to pick it up. But yeah.
Let's see next week.
Okay.
Yep.
So now I think I have to find the other.
The other ones. Okay.
Yes,
Then.
radio talk shows.
Okay. Then I'll still be waiting for you.
Yeah, maybe I can send even by using your email.
Sure.
Yes.
Perfect.
Okay.
Because this is the booklet that I was talking about
Okay,
in the video.
in the video.
Then I have to find the other redirect option there. I can send it there.
Perfect. Again, thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
you for
See
your
you next week.
Sure. Thanks
Okay.
a lot.
Okay.
Find it.